She got a thing for the super villain. Someone that love you for you with a bomb feeling. Finally you got what you want, you can stop wishing. I think she got your prayer, this is God's vision. Someone that love you for you with a bomb feeling. Finally you got what you want, you can stop wishing. I'm just trying to get away when the time right. Trying to get away from knowing this is that night. She want me to save her, but I am not a savior. She want me to be the hero, but I'm more Darth Vader. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. If I ever need a play, I got her on call. Gave it to her ass so good she want her encore. She know that I am the plug if she need more. Every time she hit my line, I'm dropping D off. Shorty wanna come with me when we take flights. Told her when the heat is on, you gotta move like. Sometimes the villain disappear and I just might. If this your girl, you better keep her locked up tight. Off the clock and she wanna have fun now. Bad vibes disappear when we come round. She know all of my intentions are good. Mad love, but I'm misunderstood. She want me to save her, but I am not a savior. She want me to be the hero, but I'm more Darth Vader. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. She want me to save her, but I am not a savior. She want me to be the hero, but I'm more Darth Vader. We don't worry about the past cause we here now. Bad vibes disappear when we come round. Bad girls like to play when the sun down. Good girls like to play when no one round. We don't worry about the past cause we here now. Bad vibes disappear when we come round. Bad girls like to play when the sun down. Good girls like to play when no one round. She want me to save her, but I am not a savior. She want me to be the hero, but I'm more Darth Vader. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. She want me to save her, but I am not a savior. She want me to be the hero, but I'm more Darth Vader.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx once again, going full nerd on a Sunday. Yes, yes, yes. You could be anywhere right now, but you're here with me, and I thank you for being here. Now, if you're following along and you're doing the right things and you're watching the alerts and you're subscribed on YouTube, you know what I'm getting ready to talk about. You know the title of today's live stream is a review, a spoiler-filled review of X-Men Dark Phoenix. Now, before we even get to that, let's go through the administrative stuff, which is, please make sure if you're not already subscribed, please go to youtube.com/goingfullnerd, click the subscribe button, hit the bell, get the notifications, and hit this video with a thumbs up. If you are catching this on the replay, please leave a comment, okay? And make sure that your presence is duly notated. Whew. Gotta get that out the system. I'm a little bit shook, okay? I'm a little bit shook. In addition, you can catch out the audio replay of the podcast. You can check out the podcast on anchor.fm/goingfullnerd, where you too can contribute to the cause. If you go to anchor.fm/goingfullnerd, click the support link, and you too, for less than the price of a cup of coffee, ensure that I get to see the stuff you want to discuss. That is right. I need money. Anyway, let's start off like we do every week with the top box office. And that's going to kind of lead into what we talk about. So top box office this week. It's very surprising Okay, it's very surprising, especially because the superhero genre is a powerful genre of movie. Good, bad, or indifferent, I could pretty much see that superhero movies top the domestic box office chart, whether the movie is good, bad, or indifferent. But this week is different, okay? This week's number one movie was The Secret Life of Pets 2. Yes, the Kevin Hart flick. I'm going to say Kevin Hart because Patton Oswalt doesn't draw top billing like I think he does. But anyway, that pulled $47.1 million. That is something else. But let's keep going. Let's talk a little bit. Coming in at number 2 was Fox 21st Century Fox Studios. I'm going to say Fox Studios. The Last Hoorah. One of the last hoorah. I think Fox has one more film that can actually drop under the Fox banner. But Fox's last hoorah with the X-Men, Dark Phoenix, coming in with a weekend total of $33 million. Can we say horrible, atrocious for a superhero film in today's society? Can we say that? But let's continue on. Coming in at number 3 is last week's number 2. I think was the best movie outing this past weekend for anybody, which is Aladdin, pulling in $24.5 million, followed by Godzilla King of Monsters, last week's number 1, pulling in 15.5, which I will have to check that out. Coming in at number 5 was last week's number 3, the biopic on Elton John, Rocket Man. So, that's enough of the top box office. So let's get to it. Now, this is a question I got to ask you guys. This is a question I got to ask everybody listening, watching, learning, knowing, and coming in and hollering at your boy. Have you ever made a decision, okay? Have you ever made a decision that you knew you were going to regret? Okay? Have you ever made that decision? Now, I'm going to tell you, I had a choice. And now I know I chose wrong. I chose wrong. I can admit, I can sit here and admit I was wrong. Now, here's the key. I don't usually do live movie reviews. I don't. Okay? And I try my best not to spoil movies when I do a live movie review. Okay? I'm going to be breaking the rules right now. Okay? So, I'm going to put it out there. There are spoilers ahead. Okay? Spoilers ahead. Now, if you choose not to take my advice, which I am going to put out right now, which is to avoid X-Men Dark Phoenix at all costs, I want you to stop watching. I want you to stop listening right now. Right now. Okay? Right now. I'm going to give you a little pause. I'm going to sip my adult beverage, my new favorite adult beverage. This is a treat to myself because coming this month, you're going to get half a century of Onyx. Half a century. Y'all think about that. Think about that. So, now this is the thing. I have not seen a movie this bad since that last Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan. Okay? Which, by chance, was another Fox production. Okay? I'm going to say this. This movie does not bode well for that. Yo, I gotta hide some comments. The live stream comments are coming in like fire. Yo, hey, Ron, I gotta hide that one. That one. Yeah, okay. So check it out. This does not bode well for the New Mutant film that has been sitting in post-production hell 2 years now, okay? Now, you can obviously see that this movie, X-Men Dark Phoenix, was made oblivious to the fact that Disney was getting ready to purchase Fox movie studios. Okay, I'm going to say that. All right. And this was actually the final FU from Fox to Disney to Marvel. It was a parting shot. It was like, you know what? We've juiced this property since the 90s. We made a butt ton of money off of the X-Men, and now you gonna buy us out and fire a lot of us? Guess what? Boom! Hey, kiss our natural, ever-loving butt. You gonna have to let this movie hit theaters. You gonna have to let this movie hit theaters because people are gonna be like, yo, we gotta see it. So Disney had no choice but to let this release. Okay, it had to let it release. They released it under the Fox banner. People are going to be mad. It is not a tie. This is the worst X-Men film ever. I'm sorry. Now, what is wrong with this movie? What is wrong with X-Men Dark Phoenix? Really, I shouldn't call it X-Men Dark Phoenix. The true title is just Dark Phoenix, okay? I'm not going to say that they had a big problem when it was just, hey, this is a new director. You know what? That's usually the first F up when it comes to a series of movies. When you switch directors or the old director just doesn't want to play around, you know there's problems, okay? Now with this, you can kind of see the typical Fox Studios mentality, okay? This is the thing. Let's butcher the character's origin. Excuse me, our headlining stars, you know, they pretty much, you know, they're bailing. They're like, you know, Hugh Jackman said, I'm done with Logan. That was it. No more Wolverine. You get no more Wolverine. No more Bub. None of that. And he went out on a high note because Logan was actually a decent movie. But we've got other stars, McAvoy, Fassbender, Jennifer, you know, come on. That's all I gotta say. It's like, whew. So their parts were cut to like a bare minimum. Let's go ahead and reduce them to what, you know, could be thought of as like over-glorified cameos. Yeah, over-glorified cameos. I'm not talking about how they treat characters from the X-Men universe. I'm talking about the stars. The stars that were actually in this movie were treated like crap. Let's just throw it out there. The best thing Fox ever did when it came to the X-Men properties were Deadpool and Logan. Hands down, bottom. If you're going to talk about the Fox era of X-Men, I'm going to tell you there's 3 films. Deadpool is number 1. Logan is number 2. X-Men First Class was number 3. I'm going to let it slide that they killed the brother Darwin, the guy who could evolve, you know, basically is unkillable if he evolves every time, and they killed him off the first time. I'm just going to ignore that little piece of it, but that's it. That's it. Those are the 3. Throw the rest of the X-Men in the garbage. You know, throw the baby away with the bathwater. That's how that works. Throw the whole baby away. That's how I'm feeling. So let's go. Let's talk this. Now let's talk the true premise of the Dark Phoenix saga. Okay, I grew up in the 80s, early 90s, and the Dark Phoenix saga was the best comic book storyline. One of the best, I'll put it that way. One of the best that kind of had me like enthralled. It had me like, yes, this is why I like comic books. Now, the true premise of the Dark Phoenix saga, let's go. It was the seduction of Jean Grey. After she was exposed to cosmic power that increased her abilities, and how others wanted to use that power for their own sinister purpose. Now, the movie Dark Phoenix alludes to this. It does this very haphazardly. Very, you know, it's like, okay, she got the power, now let's bring in the bad guy. That's how they did it. They did it real quick. They smacked me with it. It was almost criminal the way they did it. Okay? Let's just go it out there. Now, being that the movie hit that premise and twisted it to a point where it was rushed, and we had no emotional connection to Jean Grey, we had no emotional connection to the other X-Men, we had no emotional connection to the villains, okay? There was no seduction of the power. She got the power, and then she was just out of control immediately. Boom. Boom. All right? The deaths in the story were unnecessary. Unnecessary. They were killing off people like, it was like, yo, we all lost our jobs. We got to finish this movie. F it. Okay? So let's go ahead and just start killing characters off left and right. We go, you want to die? You die. You want to die? You die. Okay? That's how it went. All right? Easter eggs in the movie. They were just thrown out there. Typical Fox fashion. Yo, we got to use the X-Men properties to keep the license. Well, they don't have the license anymore. That's back with Disney. That's back with Marvel Studios proper. But they were still dropping characters. There were mutants popping up all over the place. Dazzler made an appearance. If I couldn't think of any more of a useless character to bring in at that point in a character's history, and that was Dazzler. Okay? And they had her in the movie for that much. Even though it was comic book accurate. I give it credit. That was comic book accurate. But the villain of the movie, I'm going to throw it out there. The villains of the movie, the Dabari. Okay? These were the original asparagus heads from the comic book. Okay? Here's my thing. Why you make them hype? You made them like they were Skrulls. It was like, yeah, okay. Thinly veiled attempts with the Easter eggs. Alright? Thinly veiled attempt with the Easter eggs to appease longtime X-Men fans. That's what was happening. That was happening. No, there was no Shi'ar. I know that movies, these websites was talking about Jessica Chastain's character was playing Princess Lilandra, all that stuff. No, it was all a lie. It was a lie. They lied to you. Okay? They lied to us. They lied to characters like us. Okay? Just putting it out there. All right. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to talk about some of the characters in this movie. I'm going to talk about some of the characters. Let's talk Mystique. Let's talk Jennifer Lawrence. You could tell she was done with this role from the start of the film. Okay? Her appearance was pretty much an overglorified cameo. That's all it was. Jennifer Lawrence was like, you are not putting me in this blue makeup and red hair for a full 2-hour movie. Not going to happen, son. Not going to happen. I seen Jennifer Lawrence looking like Jennifer Lawrence for the majority of her time in the film. Just putting it out there. I think she maybe had like 2 scenes, 3 scenes top, looking like Mystique. Yes, the reshoots were BS, and I'm going to get to the reshoots in a minute. Coming up, next character, Professor X. Okay? I have never seen him portrayed so badly outside of this film. Okay? It wasn't the acting. McAvoy, that's my man's right there. He did his thing. Okay? He did his thing. Alright? But the dialogue was painful to listen to, and they were mixing current Professor X tendencies from the comic book with past Professor X, and it didn't fit the story at all. It was like, what is this? Instead of what are those, I was like, who is this? Somebody come get your mans. Alright? Jean Grey. Alright? Her origin was so far from what it was in the comic book, this was a totally different character. This was an unrecognizable character in my humble opinion. Jean Grey's powers were always strong. She was an Omega level mutant in the comic books. She was very, very powerful. Now this is the thing. Her powers in the comics, the comic book origin, the straight up comic book origin, her powers were unleashed as a result of the death of her best friend. And she experienced it, and Professor X came to save. Now, let's talk about the change. The change is her powers manifested, and oh, by the way, she killed her own mama by accident? Come on, son! Really? Really? Okay. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, no, you just ruined it. All right. Let's talk Storm. Storm. They're never going to get Storm right in the comics. They're never going to get Storm. Storm was not regal. Storm was not commanding. Storm basically was like, yo, we got to take Jean down. I'm like, what? What? I mean, I remember the original Dark Phoenix saga. Storm was like, yo, I got to project Jean no matter what. They kind of flip-flop back and forth with that. But she was like, you know, at one point she was talking to Cyclops in the movie, who was a wuss in the movie. They just nerfed Cyclops. Nobody likes Cyclops anymore. He's supposed to be like the ultra leader, the superior X-Man. No. They'll never get Storm right. That's correct. So I'm like, yo, it's like, come on now. I mean, what are they doing? But, you know. Now, everybody's been talking about the reshoots. Now, I'm going to tell you why they say they want to go with the reshoots. Why they're doing the reshoots. Here's the deal. They did the reshoots because they said the story was similar to another superhero film that was already released. Your boy Onyx is not going to bite his tongue, okay? And I am not afraid to say it. There were similarities to Captain Marvel. Yes. With the difference being, Captain Marvel was actually a good movie. Compared to this, it was a good movie. Not just an okay one like I thought it was. It was an excellent film if you compare it to this. Okay? What do you have? You have an alien race who had the destruction of their empire, who was fleeing and chasing the entity that destroyed it. Or being chased by the entity that destroyed it. See what I'm saying here? See what I'm digging here? Okay? Alright? Throwing that out there. Alright? You didn't have twists. So I don't know what they changed. Okay? I don't know what they changed. Unless they changed something. Okay? The only similarities was it was an alien race that was decimated. That was the only change. And oh, it's a famous character. It's a famous character. You know, famous, you know. I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. This movie was straight garbage. Garbage. I said it in a private chat with some friends. I said I would basically urinate all over this movie. If somebody said, yo, we're going to give you a free gold-plated copy, I'd be like, melt that sucker down. I need to go ahead and cash it in. All right? I'm throwing it out there. No, don't release no cut of this movie. They basically, like I say, throw the whole baby away. Wait for the X-Men to make their Disney Marvel Studios release. Okay? Bottom line with this movie, I was bored. I was appalled. All right? As a comic book fan, I was appalled. Okay? Extremely upset at how it felt that the writers of the screenplay took the source material, which I still feel is one of the greatest comic book storylines in history, and took a crap on it. John Byrne and Chris Claremont, who wrote the original Dark Phoenix saga, should automatically go to whoever did this screenplay adaptation and smack them across the mouth. All right? I'm just saying. 10-issue story arc. from my childhood has just been crapped on. Just saying. And I'm sure that everybody is face palming the whole situation. It made $14 million on its debut day. For a superhero film in this world now, with Avengers hitting $1 billion, with the Justice League hitting all that money. Okay? I'm sorry. T-Mobile's offering $4 tickets? Come on, that should tell you to avoid this movie. I knew I made a bad decision. I knew I made a bad decision 5 minutes into the film. 5 minutes into the film. If it wasn't for the fact that my wife paid for the tickets. I didn't even pay for the tickets. My wife paid for the tickets. If it wasn't for the fact that my wife paid for the tickets and the fact that the food in the theater that I go to is good. Okay? If it wasn't for the fact that the food in the theater I go to is good. I had some very delicious hot wings. My wife had a Cobb salad that looked delicious. Yo, the food was better than the movie, yo. The food was better than the movie. Now, this is the thing. My man Damon, he's in the live chat. He asked me one time on the comments. He said, what is the lowest rating you have ever given a movie? Well, I'm going to tell you. I can't remember what was the lowest rating I ever gave a movie. But I can tell you this one either beats it or ties it. Okay? Here it is, folks. I was talking with my wife. Originally, I was going to give the X-Men Dark Phoenix, or Dark Phoenix as it is known. I was going to give it a 2 out of 5, much like Kevin McCarthy, okay? Much like Kevin McCarthy, all right? That's the local Fox movie critic. I really appreciate him, and we're usually pretty much in line with how we do our reviews. But I said, you know what? That was too damn generous. It would have gotten 1 star just because my wife paid for it and treated me to dinner. So I'm going to take that away. My wife gets a 5 star for taking me out to the movie. But Dark Phoenix gets a 1. I give it a 1. Other than the end fight scene, which I liked the end of the movie, the fight scene. I don't know if it was the fact that I wanted to see the fight scene. I like when they have multiple characters, special effects and stuff blowing up. I mean, it was nowhere near the end scene of Avengers Endgame as far as scope and power, but the last fight scene in the movie was pretty good. Yes, 1 is still generous, but I will give it a 1. I say do not see this movie in the theaters. Do not get it on demand. You must wait until this movie hits TNT at 3 o'clock in the morning because I feel it will be there very, very quick. No, I wouldn't even waste the internet bandwidth on my Fire Stick, Showbox, Kodi, whatever. It is not worth diddly. Disney released this movie because they had an obligation and it was too late because fans wanted to see it. Now fans are going to have to suck it up. Just letting you know. Some of y'all say y'all give it half a star. I'm nice. I'm a nice guy. So pretty much that's all I got. Please, everyone that's in here, hit this video with a thumbs up. Go listen to the podcast when I upload the podcast audio. I'd like to give thanks to everybody that popped into the chat today. Thanks to my main man, Ernest D. Thank you, Damon, for popping in support. Low Cuts, glad you are always there. Yo, old school homeboys, Ron, Omar, thanks. And my boy, Ricky, for sliding in, putting his 2 cents in. Yo, check it out, y'all. This has been a wonderful day. I'm going to go finish my adult beverage. I'm going to tell you, and this is the thing, I'm going to share a little bit. I went over to my cousin's house. It was a high school graduation. You know, us adults, we got to do our thing. We're going to sit back and we're going to be like, okay, old head, y'all doing real good. Good. Now go on, do something with your life. I'm going to tell you. My cousin turned me on to this. This is a beer, okay? Now, I know that there are YouTube channels out there that do beer. There's a dude named Beer Drank Shorty. He reviews beers. I've seen him drinking like different IPAs and light beers, real generic stuff. Yo, y'all go ahead and hit his channel and tell him he need to get on some of this. This is a bourbon barrel quad, barrel aged by Boulevard. This is 11% alcohol, and it is ice cold, and it is delicious. I have never had a beer that tasted this good. Wow. Now, I will tell you, I will not be buying this beer on a regular basis. I will not be buying it. This was $15 for a 4-pack. This deserves a pick you up. Now, don't get because I splurged. Don't think because I splurged that I don't need your support. Yo, I need you to make your way on over to anchor.fm. Okay? Anchor.fm/GoingFullNerd. There's a support tab. Click the support tab. Go ahead and donate 99 cents to keep the Going Full Nerd. That 11% hit me. The Going Full Nerd podcast. Please. Need a little help here. Need a little things going on to keep this going. Because truthfully, it's therapeutic for me. I enjoy sharing my opinion with all of you. So check this out, everybody. As always, please send me your suggestions. Comment on the video. Hit it with a like. Please check me out here on YouTube. You can also check out the Facebook. Go to the website, goingfullnerd.com. You can see all the stuff scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And as always, if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. Say it to me. Peace, y'all. And I'm out of here. Woo. I guess it's time for me to hit that music. Let me hit that music. Because I'm not the bad guy. I am the bad guy. I am the bad guy.
She got a thing for the super villain. Someone that love you for you with a bomb feeling. Finally you got what you want, you can stop wishing. Answer to all of your prayers, this was God vision. She was choosing, I can see it all in your vibe. Can't deny what you was feeling when we locked eyes. I'm just trying to get away when the time right. Trying to get away from knowing this is that night. She want me to save her, but I am not a savior. She want me to be the hero, but I'm more Darth Vader. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. Good girls always fall for the bad guy. Lucky me because the good girls are my type. If I ever need a play, I got her on call. Gave it to her ass so good she want her encore. She know that I am the plug if she need more. Every time she hit my line, I'm dropping D off. Shorty wanna come with me when we take flights. Told her when the heat is on, you gotta move like. Sometimes the villain disappear and I just might. If this your girl, you better keep her locked up tight.